Who's leading? Should I lead this since it was my idea, or?
Sure, go for it.
All right. Good morning, THEDAS. Or good afternoon for that matter. We've been streaming for a while. I don't know if Ethan's gonna record this, but
I'll probably I'm gonna do my best to go through all fucking 10, 12 hours and chop it up.
Pick out
But also, where is the enthusiasm for that good morning thetis? You're not gonna sully the good name. Here with the good morning thetis!
That was so disorganized and horrible.
That was the point. Hell yeah.
Bonsoir, THEDAS.
Anyways.
Gonna be in a good relation way.
Alright, my name is Witchy98. I'm also known as Molly, and with me today, let's just go down the list on Discord in the general so it looks nice. We have these lovely people who've been with us for a good chunk of the day.
So, who goes first?
Shit, that's probably me. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Scotty, also known for running the channel Bioware Babbling.
And I'm Eirin, aka Neon Indus, and I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, and I'm on Twitch. I'm basically everywhere and sticking up with those guys because I love them.
Ethan, your turn, I think.
I am Ethan, aka Baron, and I enjoy a nice pair of slacks.
Oh.
Random.
That's from
That's a fact.
That's from Anchorman.
Oh, hi, we're dumb.
Alright, I'm with that.
Hi, I'm Halla. You can find me on Twitter at PuffinUnity. I don't actually have a channel, nor am I very active. I just like to be on other people's, usually friends' streams, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
His nose is. I'm talking in the middle of this. I'm currently streaming Inquisition while we're doing this.
I'm literally on your stream, and I put like my camera below your camera so that like they have something to watch rather than just me chatting.
I am trying to make a very nice Kunari, but I'm not a big fan of his nose.
I just launched Trespasser. Just the last
Oh, no.
save I had. So.
Who's next? Oh, am I next?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Nimble Toast Play. I run the YouTube channel Nimble Toast Play, which, yeah, same thing. I focus on disability videos as well as gaming videos. So.
And I kind of thought it'd be fun to have a podcast in the middle of the day in case Bioware released some stuff. And lucky for us, they made a blog post with a couple of cool short stories. So we could get to the short stories in a bit, but we could probably talk a tiny bit about what the blog post said first.
Sure.
So, if you guys hadn't seen it yet, basically BioWare said thank you to the people who run Unofficial Dragon Age Day for making such a cool event. If you guys didn't know, we are partnering with Unofficial Dragon Age Day today to raise money for AbleGamers. It has been so cool to work with them. They highlighted us in their newsletter, and they've been nothing but nice. Nerdy Nick, who I've been kind of corresponding with to set this up, is so nice and so sweet. So you guys should give Unofficial Dragon Days all the love. So I just thought it was really cool for BioWare to shout out not only the kind of, I guess you could call it an organization, because it kind of is, but they also shouted out all the different founders, past and present. So I think that's very nice too, because they know that this is something made by the fans. They didn't want to take anything away from that, and I thought that was really cool. So, but also in the blog post, they went through about a bunch of stuff that they were doing. They said that they were going to give out gift cards, I think, at some point, and then that some stuff is on sale at the store. But at the end, they said that they are not releasing anything until next year.
Which
Boo.
is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think that's your short stories.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's also kind of to be expected, though. Like, we all kind of came into this knowing development-wise, they probably wouldn't be releasing any like trailers or anything new by like end of this year, beginning of next year, I would think, right?
Really? Yeah, I actually thought they would.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they would at Game Awards. Maybe
I thought
already
at Game Awards they would at least give the name or something.
Yeah, maybe
I mean,
How much is this going to cost?
they might be doing in Bioware fashion, saying that they're not going to be doing something and then lie and then
Maybe.
do, which they
That
have done
happens.
before.
But I don't know.
Bioware may also be like, they want to more release it on their terms, and while releasing it at the Game Awards, like, it's a good way to get hype, like, definitely some hype up for sure. You know, they may
curly
want,
horns. Curly horns, Ethan.
They may also want to, they may be also waiting to like, yeah, we want to do it at a quieter time of the year, drop at least the name of it, because they seemed, the one thing that I've noticed, and this was what they were kind of doing with Anthem 2.0, and then now, from what I've been seeing with Dragon Age 4, how they've been doing the marketing for it, they are definitely trying to do a small trickle of information out, instead of trying to, like, do a trailer 2 years out, and then releasing a bunch of information within, like, the 6 months of the game being released. I think they're trying to do a small trickle of stuff and like show the development of the game a little bit. Because I know that's what Christian Daly's, what he said his strategy has been in the past. So I'm wondering if that's what it is, where it's like, okay, we're not quite ready to show off stuff in December, but maybe January or February we might either release more trailer, like. And I don't even know if we'll even get a trailer. Like, we may get the name of the game, we may get some more behind-the-scenes stuff, you know. We'll see.
Another thing I wanted to point out from the blog is that there's been a lot of, since the creative director left, a lot of people were like, oh, I wonder if they went back to multiplayer? The multiplayer or live?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
no. Let me say something. They made it clear in the blog that it's going to be a single player Dragon Age game.
Yes.
Well, no.
Single player,
right? Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I would say no, hell no. The reason why I never believed that for a second, that, oh, it's because he wanted, you know, multiplayer, because EA flat out said...
No, I'm not saying that it was because he never said he wanted multiplayer. People were scared that after he left, it's because EA changed what they wanted, and that's why he left.
That would be a little weird. That would be a little, like, okay, it's EA, so I about trust them as far as I can throw my own head. But when it comes to EA, they're usually not two-faced. They're not... No. They're usually not... And, like, in EA...
They're very upfront about their scumbaggery.
Yeah, they have plenty of scumbaggery, but they're not two-faced. Like, they flat out said, like, don't put multiplayer in the next Dragon Age. They told Bioware to do that, which, one of the few times they've actually stepped in on the creative freedom of Bioware. Really, in the last several years, in the last several projects, they usually haven't stepped into the realm of what the team is doing creatively. So I don't think that they would secretly then two-face and be like, actually, put in that multiplayer, hee.
I also just want to ask too, when does EA Play usually come out? It's usually...
EA Play is, I believe, in the summertime, usually. Okay. It's usually...
So...
Oh, I can't remember, like...
Tell me why we shouldn't
release something without the conclave they can definitely do that, knowing
everyone who attended
how
is dead,
impatient their fandom is. We are well aware that we don't need EA Play to have something from Dragon Age.
Explain this.
But they could do something there at one point, too.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're just trying to just release stuff on their own terms and on their own time. Because we kind of gotten used, I think as a fandom, we've kind of gotten used to this schedule of like, something's gonna come out during Game Awards, and then something's gonna come out on EA Play. I think that they're trying to just
Dead?
not switch it up a bit, but keep the hype up a little bit by teasing a little bit for the people in the fandom who are diehard.
Things
Yeah.
were chasing me, and
And then like the people who are just general fans, like, oh yeah, they're short stories if they're interested, but if they don't want to read them, then like, it's fine.
But
You
then
know?
I agree with you on that, and I actually kind of want to expand on that. I think actually Bioware is trying to control their own narrative more, because if you think about all the stuff that has been released over, you know, how the stories that have come out about Bioware and stuff like that have been generally from outside sources, and one, they haven't always put Bioware in the, you know, in a good light. But a lot of the times, like, especially on marketing, things kind of very much got out of hand for them. So I think what they're trying to do is increase the transparency a little bit, and really trying to help set expectations going in.
It's a massive rift into the world of
just so then they can also help control the narrative a little bit of, you know, the hype for the game. Like, we saw this with the Legendary Edition. Like, it was announced.
An explosion can
like, the Legendary Edition was announced in a blog post.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of crazy if you think about it. It was announced in a blog post of all places. But the first things that they said was like, okay, y'all, this isn't going to be like like the Master Chief Collection or a Final Fantasy VII remake level of like remaster. This is a simple remaster. Here are the basic things that we're going to be doing in it. We're going to give you more details later. But like,
whatever it takes.
This is what you should expect. And like, it was very wisely worded to make it very easy for everybody to just, okay, this is, you know, all the fans going in, this is what we were expecting, and it worked to fabulous effect. So I think they're trying to do the exact same thing with Dragon Age 4.
Which, like, I appreciate because it feels kind of like more, it's a weird way to say it, but like more intimate to the fans.
Yeah.
Because like, it's not like you're at a convention and you see a panel and they announce all this cool stuff, or like it's E3 and they announce it.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But anybody else got some thoughts?
No, I'm pretty happy they released that, and I'm pretty happy they're quite open about the fact that we're not gonna get something. Like, we're not gonna get anything. They're like, we're still working on it. We're still doing our stuff. Then you just have to be patient with us.
Where are you?
I say we riot in the streets.
I'm with Ethan.
Yeah.
Murder! Murder!
Riot.
My big problem is there's not a lot of people in France knowing about
Open the gate. We are heading into the valley.
That brings me back to my last point. Murder!
Oh my gosh.
Commit crime!
Alright, well, I guess we can move on to the short stories. I think we all have taken a little glance at them. Yeah. But I want to talk about them because they are so stinking cool. And one of them is so cute.
Can you just quickly tell me if perchance my audio is a
Both
little
of them
bit
are
better?
pretty cute.
Whoa,
I'm not gonna lie.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Is my audio a little bit better? Not so much.
It's way worse.
Three of them.
Whatever
It's
you
way
did,
worse.
it sounds horrible.
How about like this?
That's good.
That's better. That's perfect.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't. Oh god, I need to quit the cursing.
So I need to lower you down a little bit now. It's good. It's perfect.
No, curse more.
Yeah, curse more. Fuck.
Fuck shit, bitch. Anyways.
Fuck, motherfuck.
Please.
So,
No.
Won't Know When, I feel like, is one of the most adorable Dragon Age stories I've ever read.
Oh! Yeah.
Have you guys read that yet?
I did.
Grey
How
Warden
dare
one,
it
right?
warm my... Yeah, how
Yeah, the
dare
Warden
a
one.
Grey Warden story warm my heart like this?
It's
so good.
It's so good. And then I think we said when we were talking earlier, this is like the first time we've seen a dwarf and elf.
And an elf.
And pairing that isn't like a love interest and a PC.
Yeah.
Which is really freaking cool.
Oh yeah, agreed.
here too with the weight by including a character that we learn to know through Tevinter Nights. But just like thinking in my FK, wait a minute,
Drop
I know
your
you.
weapon.
And
Now.
just
Yeah.
like, thinking about the story, hunger.
Do you really
and just
think I
seeing
need a
that, I'm
staff
like,
to be dangerous?
Wait,
Is
no,
that supposed
don't do
to
this to
reassure
us.
me?
Although
I haven't used
really
my
like
magic on
them.
you yet.
The story is super cute, and it gives me hope to see the warden.
You're right.
Not getting a redemption.
don't
because
need a
it really
staff.
depends how you play
But you should
your
have
hero
one.
and how you see the thing.
I cannot protect
But I'm
you.
like, this
Mel
might be
says it's
saying
beautiful and so sad.
Oh yeah.
it's sad that
Absolutely.
you're-
Remember,
you're
you
like,
agreed to come
"Geez,
willingly.
I don't like where this is going, because they're cute, but you know it's not gonna end well.
Well, they're Grey Wardens, so it's like
Take these potions.
you have that extra
Make
bit
them
of
know
expectation
what
of
you
like,
will
oh.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
no.
either a sad death or it's a fast death.
So I'm kind
Where
of
are all
afraid
your
maybe
soldiers?
someone in chat can
At the
answer.
forward
I
camp
doubt
for
it, 'cause
fighting.
every time I ask,
We are on
nobody
our
did
own
that.
for now.
Even Molly didn't get the thing, but when you're in position,
There! Watch
when you
out!
have like the warden, you
If
have
we flank
no
them,
matter
we
who
may
it
gain
is,
the advantage.
right? He says that the warden went on a quest. No matter what, if your warden's alive,
Yeah.
your warden is on a quest. And I wonder if your warden died during Origin, if the Olesian warden that becomes commander does that too.
I mean, that would make sense to
Up
me.
on the
Yeah,
hill.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
attack
but
from a
I
distance.
don't know if it's mentioned. I think I'm gonna need to make a keep just for that.
Mhm.
Because if they are, then it's canon that
They're trying to find a cure.
yeah, the cure is they're working on it. Like the warden is working on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
I
might be
wouldn't
important.
I wouldn't be surprised if like a side plot or maybe even if you are warden in DA4, like one of your quests is like not like a fetch quest, but you need to go get these things to be able to help us try to find a cure for this. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. I'm also curious to see, because the only other really marriage we see between wardens is like Alistair and your character. But
Yep.
again, but like at the same time, it's weird because technically he is royalty, so kind of that cancels out the wardenship. So it would be kind of nice to see how
You can hear the
You know, I just realized
yeah,
I
like
forgot
how
to-
that looks. And then also, like, have you ever stopped to think if two wardens had a baby, what the fuck would happen to that kid?
There's
Yeah.
Like, that'd be a
the-
blighted kid from the front.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I swear I heard something that, like, wardens are sterile or something.
They are. They are sterile.
They're not.
Well, actually, yeah, no, because,
You see
yeah,
them.
because
We must
It
Your
literally
warden-
says it in the codex, and you have a conversation with Alistair about it.
Except
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
other conversations can tell that it's just
Oh,
that they
okay.
have a very low chance to get it, and
Yeah.
the wardens together, low chance with low chance, it's impossible.
Yeah,
Technically,
exactly.
it's
Although,
Like, impossible doesn't mean it's not possible.
Oh yeah.
Is what I'm saying. So, like, it'd
It's
be kind of
improbable.
it'd be kind of cool. It's improbable, yeah. It'd be kind of cool to see, like,
What did you do?
does that kid have like old god blood, or is like now an old god because they got two blighted parents, like that sort of stuff. I'm just curious what they do about it. And then like it's hard to tell timeline wise which time this story happened.
And it seems I was correct.
yeah, there's no
Meaning
That's
it
true.
could also
Although
cause
So-
the breach
it
itself.
has to not be too long
Possibly.
after what
It
happened in
seems
the
you
book.
hold the key to our
Yeah,
salvation.
with Abeka.
Mhm.
Good to know.
Mhm.
Here I thought we'd be ass
called the
deep in demons
wardens, all the
forever.
wardens at what's I don't know.
Mel was
Best
talking
of-
about.
Rogue.
Hello, guys.
storyteller.
Mel,
Yeah, no
Mel
worries.
was talking about they are sterile after a
Okay.
while because the taint gets
Yeah.
worse,
Mm.
and
yeah,
that
that
is
makes
why
Gentry or
that is why Reorden is
Was
not
that
an
a serious
alternative
question?
for the dark ritual
Technically,
because
I'm a
he is too
prisoner.
He
tainted.
can't.
just like you.
Oh yeah, it's
I
true.
brought you here to
Oh, yeah.
tell your
Were they
story
getting
to
too
the
close to
divine.
their calling? That's
Clearly,
the problem.
that is no
Yeah.
longer
The problem
necessary.
is Alistair, because
Yes, here I
Alistair
am.
is the
Lucky
descendant
for
of
you.
Camelot,
Considering
and
current events.
this bloodline is bullshit.
A nice crossbow
This
you
is
have
pure
there.
bullshit.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of the Callahan bloodline, I think I finally figured out why Fiona got rid of the taint. It's not just because she was how should I put it?
Absolutely not.
I don't think just anyone who got pregnant can become untainted. I think it's specifically the Callahan bloodline. If you're carrying an heir, then you get untainted, because otherwise you'd be like, yeah, but Alistair is a Callahan, so he wouldn't get tainted.
Well,
No, it's because you're carrying down the lineage.
Lineage, yeah. Well, one thing I'm kind of curious on then is because, like, essentially the Callahan bloodline is considered to have, like, essentially, like, the blood of dragons flowing through it. I wonder if that has something to do with it a bit as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, granted, that's an old-ass storyline that really hasn't been talked about in God knows how many years. But if they're trying to make other references to other medias and, like, trying to tie in the wrangled, untamed mess, which is the Dragon Age universe,
yeah,
that might be an angle that they go after.
It could be very interesting. And supposedly, go ahead.
Effie is wondering. It makes me wonder how old Fiona was when she got pregnant.
Mel
I
know that. I know that.
Hi guys, please let
She was
me
like in her
in the
mid-20s.
comments.
Sorry.
Alistair's bloodline is hilarious. Half mage, half Grey Warden, half Orlesian, half elf, and then dragon blood in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Effie then says he's something it all.
He's got it all.
Mel says yeah, and then says it's like you took random parts of THEDAS and blended, and there you have Alistair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is even worse when you make Kieran, because you're like, okay, so you're a quarter elf, and you are and you probably have dragon, because I don't know what Morrigan is. But technically, there's that too, because when you think the Callahan bloodline is
Glad you brought me now, Seeker.
but if we believe what we read about the Ivanurus and Missol particularly, there were dragons. They had a dragon form. So is it just the legend that became the dragon blood or something like this? Or there's a shapeshifter that could be a dragon? That was the first mother or the first father of the first descendant of Halla.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I explained something. And after Alistair decided to get tainted on his own. Oh, please.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ethan, on my end, you look really laggy on your stream.
Okay, so Nimble, sorry I interrupted. I can tell you exactly when she found out she was pregnant in the epilogue of The Calling. So that was like right at the tail end of the at the end of the book, after they go on their whole adventure and everything. That's when she finds out she's pregnant. So when does The Calling take?
Oh shoot, I'm bad with timelines.
Yeah, and especially the Dragon Age.
Oh yeah.
No.
So
The Calling takes place years after.
Is it like 20 years before DAI?
Yeah, it's before DA.
Way before DAO.
Yeah, way before DAO. Yeah. But it's like I think there's about a 20-year gap in between, the Stolen Throne and The Calling.
Hey, it's basically Alistair's age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's is it fixed? Is the
oh, there you go. The Calling takes place in 99, says Mel.
Is the stream still being laggy?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Alright.
Effie says yes, but if you remember, they had these charms or amulets or whatever that made the taint worse when they were in the deep road. So it's incredible how Fiona could get pregnant despite that.
It's the power of love.
I was about to say, look, Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what's happening? Like.
Okay, in my opinion, it's just because it's not about Fiona, although he was the one carrying Alistair.
My controller rate at least stopped working.
It's because the
Oh, no.
father
Oh.
was Merrick.
What the fuck?
And because he was a Callan had this. Yeah, definitely. All Therin love.
Yeah, that's something I can actually pretty agree with. Like, especially with how we know how special that
There we go.
bloodline
That
is.
was weird.
There's definitely.
I think that we refuse false clothing. It seems just a way the architect found to.
What the hell's going on with this controller right now?
avoid the process.
There you go.
I don't know, but you're gonna die.
I just think it's really sweet that they were like, "Would you marry me?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah,
I thought it
that's
was
so
cute,
sweet.
yeah.
That was adorable.
I want more romance like this that doesn't end in me tearing up, please. Bioware, give me a nice
I mean,
romance.
they're gonna have a terrible end, but I'll be excited if we get to meet them in Dragon Age 4.
The one thing I absolutely love, though, about the picture, like, it's an adorable picture, I have to admit. I really wonder who did the artwork for that, because that's cool as shit. I also love the, if you look at the ogre, and again, this is my forensics background coming in. Of all the places to shoot an ogre, why are you shooting it at the hardest part of its body?
Because art, I guess.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I mean, like,
Don't
it looks
question
cool,
it!
But, like, look, there's a reason why there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 arrows in that part. There's a reason.
I can't find who the artists are, but I'm sure Bioware will release something talking about them soon. They're usually really good about that.
Yeah, and also, if it's also internal, internal as well, that would also be interesting as well.
If that is the art that's gonna be in the new Dragon Age, like that fucking pretty all the time, I will be flabbergasted. I will be so impressed.
Ooh, speaking of art and things looking really pretty, especially, this is gonna sound a little tangential, I'm ringing it in, I promise. With the rumors that possibly Bioware is wanting to go with the Unreal Engine for the next Mass Effect game, do you think they may try to do the same thing for Dragon Age, or do you think this is going to be the last game that they're going to do Frostbite with?
They started development with Frostbite, so I would be surprised if they switched to Unreal.
Yeah.
Well, Mass Effect's doing Unreal.
Especially with how many development issues
No, that was
been.
confirmed.
I can confirm you that Dragon Age 4 is gonna stay Frostbite. For the next one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
That is.
they confirmed something recent about it.
Yeah.
The only thing we heard about the new Frostbite version was the hair, and they didn't release the, hey, look at the hair we're making for nothing. Like, we know why we wanted better hair.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think the engine tried to get better, so I think we can get a good game with it.
Open the gate.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
although
I think it depends how. Honestly, I think it depends how well Dragon Age 4 does with Frostbite. That will probably determine what engine the next game goes to.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know, because the problem is, and this is something that people kind of need to understand, is that Bioware has been experimenting with Frostbite since, I want to say, 2009, 2010. Like, they have been messing around with it for over 10 years. At this point, I think they have a good idea of how capable it is. Like, they know how it works, it's just, I honestly would not be surprised if in the next Dragon Age game does go to Unreal, because it's like, yeah, we know what Frostbite is capable of, but, and this is more of a trend that you're seeing all throughout the entire gaming industry, is not necessarily going with the most powerful engine, but going with the easier to work with engine. Like, the prime example of that is actually the Slip Space engine that they used to make Halo Infinite. Microsoft spent $500 million developing that engine. not to make it prettier, not to make it do cooler shit, but but to make it easier to develop in, and to make spin-off and sequel games. That was its sole purpose. And I would not be surprised if more and more studios are going that way. And especially, like, we've already seen the Unreal Engine do some amazing things in other RPGs. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bioware's looking at that and it's like, yeah, no, we're tired of doing this. You know, we're tired of doing this. We're switching to Unreal.
Understandably honest.
Yeah, we'll get to see what happens. I feel like it's hard to speculate when you don't have even a title or a trailer yet.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true.
Especially, let's say that the engine word, when it comes to video games, this is very complex. Like, Frostbite is from EA, and EA gets to decide what their company uses. If they don't want all their games to go through Unreal and want their proprietary engine to be used, that's gonna be used. After it's a term of negotiation, of discussing this direction. So I'm not gonna speculate on whether or not they're gonna use it. Although I would give a chance to Frostbite because we didn't see the new version of it yet.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm pretty sure the new version adapted after Inquisition because they saw what an RPG needed.
Yeah.
And for working on engines, in my degree, you tend to really get how to put the things together for the type of games you want to put the engine on.
I will say though, it's actually not true that EA forces their studios to do that, because if that's the case, why never Apex should have been on Frostbite. Titanfall 2 should have been on Frostbite, but they weren't. Or Jedi Fallen Order should have been on Frostbite, but none of them were. And in which book is it? Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. They actually talk about how why they chose Frostbite, because BioWare was already looking for an engine at the time, because the engine that they were using wasn't working out for them. So they chose to go with Frostbite. That was a choice that the studio made. That wasn't forced upon them by EA. Granted, EA made a hell of a case of like, look, you can share resources with other studios. You can do a bunch of cool stuff with it. Everything's gonna look pretty. Like, on paper, Frostbite was the perfect choice at the time. Retrospect's a bit of a bitch about that, but yeah, no, BioWare has never been forced to go with it. They have made the conscious choice to stick with it. And again, this was not a decision that they made off of a whim. They started all the way back in like 2009, 2010, and they've been sticking, and they've been evaluating it ever since.
That's understandable. You always take big risks when you try a new engine, but sometimes the payoff is good. So
yeah, well, exactly. I mean,
good for Dragon Age. The two next, the problem is that Frostbite shows its limit. At least the version they were using.
Oh yeah.
On Andromeda, and it definitely showed its limit on Anthem because they couldn't do a lot of things.
A lot of the stuff that they showed in the fake preview. Sorry.
Oh god.
I'm so mad. I was like, I want that game. If you had given me that game, I would have been so excited.
That's the problem. Pre-rendered cutscenes. Also.
Yep.
But,
so mad.
What I wanted to say by being forced is that the direction Bioware made the choice to do it, but the dev had to go with it, even if they weren't agreeing with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What you say when you code the engine? That was more what I wanted to say. So they.
Gotcha.
They did as of a job with Inquisition.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple.
Worse they could have done with the engine, but that's the limit they could have done.
Yeah.
And Anthem is doing it.
I mean, like,
that was the limit.
Yeah, and I've talked about this publicly before, but like,
are you ready?
I mean, you can just tell how hard it is to develop in that game
I'll try.
look at
I don't know if I can
how many games that Bioware produced from and I'm just gonna count from
Then let's find a way
2000 to
down.
2012.
And be careful.
Then from 2012 to 2022, which I know we're not counting.
That's a bad argument because the game size,
Well, I mean,
as
still,
well as how evolved that they made the new games
True.
that they've made.
Yeah, true, but yeah,
It takes a lot longer when you make a bigger game.
True, but at the same time, you can even look at the spacing of the games and things like that, and you do realize, like, Frostbite is, and we've seen this historically, where, like, yeah, Frostbite is a, you know, something that in Unity or Unreal, that could take maybe a few days to make, takes weeks to develop in Frostbite.
That is true.
You know, like, in Bioware, and like having development problems is normal. I mean, like, you know, some of these people in this, you know, podcast may be a little bit more aware of this than others. But development is fucking hard and a pain in the ass.
Yep.
So, you know, the thing is that it seems to be Frostbite compounded those issues immensely.
What's going on here?
Say that to the time they make to register.
We have an intruder.
That's not just the engine. The engine
Play the
is
canary.
yeah, but there's a very long process. We saw that with Dragon Age 4. They changed a lot of things. They need to do from the beginning.
And the
it's
divine
not just the
is
engine.
Was this vision
And then they had multiplayer, and then they took out multiplayer. You can't blame just the engine for all the development issues that's been going on there.
Oh no, that's why I said compounded.
This rift is not sealed,
Like,
but it is closed.
It definitely
Albeit temporarily.
compounded the
I
issues.
believe
Like
that
they
with
could
the
have
map,
had like
the rift
yeah.
can be opened.
Also
And
think
then sealed
until
properly and
the next game comes out
However,
and we
opening the
see
rift
what
will
Frostbite
be
does, we
from the
can't
other
really
side.
judge. The reason being,
That means demons.
they
Stand ready.
had to form their own tools and a lot of new tools when using Frostbite for Inquisition,
Yeah.
and now those tools exist.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had to do that with Inquisition, and Andromeda, and Anthem. So yeah, no, I actually think Nimble, you have a really good point of just the fact, like, hey, you know, they're now able to actually build on the tools that they've accumulated over the last 10 years. You know.
Guys, sorry to interrupt, but Mel might be going because her brother-in-law is coming over to play DA2. Woo!
That's
They're
Fun.
And they're going full Purple Hawk, the Menace of
yay.
Kirkwall.
Damn.
I love having you here, Mel. Thank you so much
was
for coming.
great.
It's been so good to
Hello.
meet you, and you're awesome. And I hope you come around some more. We'd love it.
Yep, we hope to see you in the future.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, see you.
Alright, that's a good transitioning point. I feel like development is always a big hot topic when it comes
Wear
to
it down.
the new Bioware games. So
Oh,
let's
yeah.
let's keep going.
All right, I got a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
are we starting Among Us at 4, or are we playing it from like 3 to 4? Because like, are we ending it? Because it says on the thing, I'm pretty sure it said like till 4 o'clock, right? I mean, it says 4 p.m. is when we're gonna play.
Yeah.
So that's when we're
I
starting.
mean, when can Asia said she's ready to roll at 4.
I'm unfortunately starting to fizzle, so make these choices, and based on your choices, chooses what I do. So,
Wait, what?
what?
I'm confused. Sorry, I'm confused. Wait, what's?
She's saying that like she might not sit out if we go too long.
Yeah, I have to. And
Yeah,
my
that's fine.
My body is starting to be like, Sterling, you've been up for 12 hours.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
too. To be honest, that's why I was
Okay,
asking.
I mean we could do it earlier if we want.
I
I
mean,
just am
it's up to
gonna
you guys.
let Asia know.
It's up to you guys. Let me know.
Yeah, we can tell like AJ if she's ready. Once she's ready, we can start. I think.
Yeah,
We also
same.
want to talk about the Eternal Flame as well.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yes.
So
So just one thing, the thing that unites both stories is basically love in different ways, which I found was very cute.
3 stories, guys.
3?
Yes.
Huh?
Wait, what?
3.
Where's the third?
where's the
third?
third?
Has to do with crows and assassins.
No, that's from 2020.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I thought that was 2021. Hang
The
on.
Wake is 2020.
Hang on. I need to go do things now because now my brain's confused.
I don't want to talk about the way.
They didn't do a really good job of setting the blogs apart this morning when they got released.
Go to my PM.
Alright, well basically if you have not yet read the story, and if you did, it takes place 30 years ago, which means it would be before... this would be before
now
the
it's-
blight.
Yeah.
Wait,
Ah, you bitch.
wait.
What? What is
What?
happening?
Then they just gave us the time for Dragon Age 4.
What?
Oh yeah, it would, technically, if we did the math. Okay, so 922 dragons, add 30 years.
952. It would be 952, 10 years after.
Yeah, so 10 years after
Oh.
Inquisition. That is a huge
Wow.
chunk of
Yeah,
time.
that's massive.
That is
Everyone's
a
weird.
huge amount of time.
Wait, 30? Hold on a minute.
Someone do the math, but if it's 10 years between Inquisition and Dragon Age 4,
Well,
that means,
trespass.
like, Trespasser specifically, yeah.
Uh,
That means
Asia-
that Solus's plan is not as bad as we thought it was, or put together as we thought. If it takes them 10 years?
Guys, Asia's asking if we're good to go in about 5. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
said yes, but
Yeah.
okay.
We just gotta figure out this math really quick. Anyways, while you guys are doing math, and I'll just summarize the story really quick. Basically, it's 2 necromancers. They find a skull. The skull's screaming. Screaming skull wants to be put to rest with his wife. They do. Really
Also,
cute.
Why does that image look like Dorian? Like,
Yeah.
saying.
It kind of does. Didn't his name is Emmerich Volkarian?
Like, there's a lot of similarities there, and it's weirding me
Okay.
out.
I mean, look,
Wait.
pencil mustache were popular at the time.
Okay, no, like,
Maybe.
even the hair on top, like the stature, everything
It could
going
be
on
like
there.
it could be
Okay.
like his uncle or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
He said he had a huge family, did he not?
He did, you're even related
Oh, he's
to
got a huge something,
Babbling.
alright.
You know what?
Hey,
Anyways, I thought it was really cute because it's kind of reuniting love in a different way.
Yeah.
Like after death, there's still love. It's very cute.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
So cute to see that.
I will also say, when I die, I want to be that petty. Like, I don't want to be a super powerful demon. I just want to be a petty asshole and just be like.
The scream.
The breach
Ooh.
stops
So,
growing, just
I
like the mark
got
on
the
your hand.
timeline, so let me just check that. We got
It's all
the...
anyone has talked about for the last 3
Come on,
days.
come on. So far, yeah.
Then the danger is
Okay,
over.
The
Trespasser
breach is still in
begins
the
in
sky, but
in
that's what they say.
944 Dragon and
I'm certain
ends
Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened.
in
She said, "At
944,
once."
and the events of the
And
Dark
where is she?
Fortress are in
30 years ago.
945.
With the Lord Chancellor. At once.
They were in
she said.
945. So if we
Okay.
take 30 years ago, in 922, it would be 952. So it would be
8 years?
7 years, 8 years after Trespasser. So almost 10 years.
That's
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah,
Because
That's
everybody
insane.
was thinking it was going to be like a year or 2 after, because we all thought that Solus'
Yeah.
plan was like almost complete. This kind of just proves that
Oh,
no
shit.
way.
No, baby, no, don't. That makes me wonder when Winter Nights takes place.
Doesn't that make our favorite characters from Origins, like, in their 50s now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
That would
hold
make
on.
Zevi an old man, and that would make
Well,
Isabella
it also means
like
that
middle-aged.
I'm saying it also means that the
Which-
warden and Alistair are probably dead.
No.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that'd be true. If it's like 10, yeah, they'd probably hit their calling.
Also,
I don't like this.
if Isabella is middle-aged, she is now a MILF.
She is now.
Hell yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Hell yeah.
But
I like
also
where this is
thinking
going.
about it, it would also mean 10 years that the Inquisitor is either in a Chantry controlled Inquisition or a very small by like Inquisition. It'd be very interesting to see how in 10 years those different Inquisitions turn into.
Yeah. So I have a Scotty tinfoil conspiracy theory, which I don't have a tinfoil, so I will use my cat as my tinfoil hat.
Oh my god.
So my conspiracy theory: the game is going to start well after Solus's plan has already gone to fruition and everything. It's already had happened and stuff like that, and now we're dealing with repercussions.
No, I don't like that. I want to see the whole thing.
Halla, do you think we exposed what we talked about last time?
Thanks, Ethan, for the 520 to get us to 605.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
I think we can talk about it. I think it's all good.
A friend of mine pointed something, and I'm mad at myself because I didn't notice that before. I'm gonna share to you an image that we all saw in the behind the scenes of Bioware. I'm gonna post it in this voice chat discussion. This one. So for the chat, it's the the Solus with the blue smoke around with the wolf.
Oh my god.
Is that reminding you something?
No.
If I tell you lyrium.
Ooh, awkward.
Yeah. So my friend was just finishing to read Tevinter Nights. And she finished the game and everything, and she saw the behind the scene, and she was, it sounds like Solus is very different in the book. What if it was trying to find his new power through lyrium because he knew that red lyrium was bad, but ancient elves used lyrium, and why not trying to use that and getting powers out of it to destroy the veil? And I was, wait. That actually could make sense.
I mean, after 10 years, his morals could have definitely have changed.
That's so weird to think about, though. Just like, I knew they were gonna age eventually because, you know, time goes on in these games, but like, just think they can't help you because they're just getting too old to deal with it. They'll be advisors and be like, hey, but they won't be able to be like, hey, let me take up a sword.
Yeah.
Yo, imagine fucking Varric's gonna be all grayed out.
Oh no!
He's gonna have some black wall in his concept art kind of gray.
I still have not jumped Varric. He cannot die.
I want him to be a romance option so bad in the next game, and there's like some theories that
he's probably gonna be like
happen.
He's probably gonna be like 20, 30 years older than us.
I'm fine with that.
So, what do we get from these two short stories? We have a definite, not a definite, but a pretty solid timeline of when everything is happening, which leaves 10
Mel
years
like sexy gray
of
Varric.
speculation that we could talk about. A bunch could have happened with the Wardens in 10 years. They could have found a cure for the Blight in 10 years. They could have... The Inquisition could have fallen apart completely in 10 years. There's a ton of shit that could have went down. So it would be really interesting to see... Like, it will make the catch-up part of, like... You know, like, the beginning of the Inquisition, and, like, you see Varric, and you're like, what happened?! It will make it, like, 20 times more interesting if we see other characters, if it's that long a time period, so...
Same time, it kind of sucks, because I think they might be doing that so, like, the consequences of your actions in Inquisition aren't going to be as big. Like, making Vivian Justina, or, like...
Yes and no. So it depends how ambitious they could be, but that could be actually even worse by doing that. So they could have, okay, if they did this choice compared to the keep, because we have 3 choices, so we can have 3 different words.
Well, technically 4. Because if you harden Liliana, then that's like a whole different ball game.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a hardened Liliana being like divine for 10 years and the fucking like rampage she could have gone on
Gosh, I
to
hope
try
not.
to keep diversity? Ugh.
Okay, I don't know how to do the proximity chat, by the way.
Alright.
Oh,
Well,
you want some?
since we're
Yes.
trying to set up Among Us, I'm gonna make this the official end of the podcast. In case Ethan wants to cut this as the podcast. So
I will
thank
see.
you everybody for listening and watching and donating. We have had a fantastic time doing this, and we will for sure be doing this again. If you want to stick around and watch us play Proximity Among Us, we would love to have you. So stick
Yep,
around, stick around.